So these are the artifacts, the sort of final product that comes out of the typewriter. This thing here is the typewriter itself, an Olivetti Lettera 35. Paid a princely sum of about £40 for this. This was an impulse purchase after watching Van Neistat's YouTube channel. If you've not seen Van Neistat, a wonderful all-round guy doing some really cool creative stuff. And let's be honest, this typewriter is a little bit old, it's a little bit long in the tooth. The ribbon doesn't seem to work properly. I think the mechanics on it have sort of gone, so I have to keep winding it on. It doesn't type very well. It's actually quite tricky to type quickly on this. The hammers, they get stuck quite often. There's a lot of friction, let's put it that way. But you see, with that friction comes a reward on the other side. There's a contemplative slowing down, there's a sort of tactile thing to it. And of course I get these sort of wonderful artifacts. But why am I actually doing this? Well, I call them typewriter notes. They are a series of shorts that happen on this YouTube channel. We're looking 5 to 40 seconds of each of these sentences being typed out. There's no music, there's no heavy cuts, there's no dramatic build, there's no voiceover. It's just that sound of the hammer hitting the page, slowly creating the work. Now, of course, these aren't perfect either. There's no delete on a typewriter. You can use Tip-X, of course. So there's mistakes, there's all sorts of bits where I've had to live with spelling mistakes actually. But that's the joy of it, that's the nature of it. And these artifacts are the sort of final output of it. So in this corner of the office is my idea to value corner. This is where I think and ponder and do lots of sort of consulting work and stuff like that. But essentially here are ideas that I've yet to turn into something. They're not real, they're just ideas. They sit on a backlog. This is a shortened version. There's actually a Apple Notes full of many hundreds more. And yes, the ceilings are low and I am 6'3", so I'm very close to the ceiling. And over here is the value wall. So once I've turned an idea into something, I move the post-it note, something real exists, and therefore that's the idea to value system. So what I'm doing is taking this one here, the Solo Creator Guide, which is a guidebook for anyone who's starting off on their own, trying to build their own business. So what I do is I take 30 quotes from this, directly from the guide, and I turn them into typewriter notes. And season 2 is already scheduled. I've recorded them, they're already uploaded. That won't be starting until June or July. And that one is coming from, if I can find it, the Communication Superpower workbook. So again, I've taken 30 quotes from that and I typed them up on the typewriter. Season 3, I'm yet to decide. It's probably between 0 to Keynote and Take a Day Off. We'll see. Let's see how this series goes. And so I take those quotes, those ideas, those sentences, those insights, and I type them up here on this typewriter, one at a time, filming it and then putting it out as a short. Each one an individual insight that's helpful, useful, inspiring maybe. That's not gone in straight there. I tell you, the friction is high with this thing. And really what I'm doing is just exploring this medium as a way to slow down, as a way to share insights, as a way to create artifacts. I mean, who knows, these sort of artifacts with all of the quotes on, maybe that becomes something that over season 7, 8, 9, 10 becomes some sort of product in itself, not to sell, but just to distribute, to share. I've had to pad this typewriter out with a roll of sellotape behind it to stop it sliding backwards. I've got 2 books either side to stop it sliding sideways. And then I have a camera pretty much perched here, filming it. I get tempted to go really quick, but as soon as I do, I get the hammers locking on, I get spelling mistakes that are hard to undo. I do need to fix this ribbon issue. It doesn't seem to spin on, so it runs out of ink midway during a sentence, which is a bit annoying. But those imperfections actually are what make the output even more genuine, even more real for me, even more meaningful. Now, who knows how this is going to go? I might get to the end of series 3 and think this is just a royal waste of time. But bear in mind, I'm doing this to take ideas and turn them into some intrinsic value for the joy of using that machine, of creating something real, something tangible, something I can look back on and bring together as a sort of portfolio. Now, there's clearly a few upgrades that I might make at some point. One, maybe a new typewriter, but definitely fixing that ribbon. The other one, probably some better stock of paper. This is only about 90 GSM, so it's, not brilliant. I think more like a cardboard stock, 120 above, might make this a little bit better. I've got to try and slow down when I type. A lot of spelling mistakes, a lot of messing up of sentences. But like I say, that's the realness, that's the rawness, that's the authenticity of these things. I'm even stamping some of them as well once I've sort of shipped it and put it out there into the world. And here's the thing, this is definitely not a productivity video in any way, shape or form. It's much quicker to use a keyboard and a computer than it is to use that thing in the corner. However, the tools that we choose to use, well, they shape how we think and they shape the things that we produce. Now, of course, there is a time and a place to use the most appropriate medium that makes sense for whatever it is that you're creating, that you're doing. Because that medium not only changes the work itself, the texture, the output, the look, the feel, the thing that we're creating, but it also subtly changes us too. Now, if you are interested in these shorts, to see them along with some of the other behind the scenes kind of stuff that I do, then the shorts are on this particular YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, then please do subscribe to the Creative Soul Project's newsletter. You'll find a link in the description. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.